Welcome in, Bills Mafia. Welcome back to another edition of Buffalo Bills football and another season of Buffalo Bills football. I am your host and founder of the page, Brett McDurphy. Glad to be with you on this lovely evening. It is Friday, and if you're watching the show after it's already been taped, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us so that we can interact with you, as well as it helps us to get more views on our videos on YouTube. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to go on over to YouTube, subscribe to us so that we can get to our next goal of 100 followers or 100 subscribers as well. And welcome in Red, White, and Bills, who is congratulating me on my 60th subscriber. I really do appreciate the love that you're giving me, man. And we are going to try and get it to 100. Our goal is to get to 100 by week 5, which would be an awesome goal. If we can get to that goal, we will have a giveaway for everyone right before the season is, right before week 6. So we are going to try and have a giveaway in week 6. And if we can do that, that would be wonderful. If we can get to 1,000 followers by the end of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, we will be giving away a jersey of the winner's choice for the end of the season. And that will be the goal for the channel, is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. That's a lofty goal for me, but I do have high expectations, just like the Buffalo Bills do, to win the Super Bowl this year. And that's the goal that I want to set for this channel. And we're going to set it, and we're going to keep growing on this channel until we get to the point where we want to be at. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We really do appreciate that. Without further ado, let's begin our week 1 matchup. And boy, do we have the best matchup of the week. The last game of the week on Monday Night Football, with guys like Troy Aikman calling it and Joe Buck as well, on ESPN in prime time, where you know who is going to thrive in those moments. It is going to be Josh Allen. And we are going to be going up against the team that was declared the offseason Super Bowl champions because of what they've done so far this offseason.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Now, that's one of my favorite clips, and I had to put it out there just because everybody is crowning them the offseason Super Bowl champions, and it is something that, okay, great, you get the hype. And it takes the pressure off of Buffalo, which is something that I know we're all glad that we don't have the pressure on us anymore right now, which is good for us. So let's keep Buffalo a secret, just like we did a few years ago, and let's go into the season without the expectations anymore of being in the Super Bowl. So without further ado, let's go over the team matchups between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Let's start with our Buffalo Bills and talk about the offseason that the Buffalo Bills had so far. They signed guys like Trent Sherfield to a 1-year contract, released Isaiah McKenzie. They also re-signed Dane Jackson to a 1-year contract. While he's not going to be the starting cornerback for the Buffalo Bills, he will have a depth piece on this team as well. And we also grabbed guys like Kyle Allen to be the backup quarterback when we let Case Keenum leave for the Houston Texans. We also gained guys like Connor McGovern and Deonte Harty, who Connor McGovern is going to take over for Rodgers, who had a little bit of a regression year last year, and Deonte Harty, who's going to take over for Isaiah McKenzie, while Isaiah McKenzie left for the Indianapolis Colts. As for the New York Jets and the offseason that they had, they added a new quarterback to their roster in the form of 4-time MVP four-time MVP. Yeah. I'm sorry, I might have said that wrong, but Aaron Rodgers is who I'm thinking of. Obviously, I don't think he's a 4-time MVP, but 4-time All-Pro is what I was thinking of. I apologize. They also added guys like Zach Kuntz, who is somebody that the Nickel City Mafia is very fond of. They absolutely love Zach Kuntz. They also added guys like Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, and Dalvin Cook, who was another late season addition right when training camp was about to be over as well. These additions have blossomed the offense of the New York Jets and allowed them to be able to have a quarterback that they are very confident in again. And the last quarterback that they pretty much were confident in was Broadway Joe Namath. So they're going to be gaining another quarterback out there that is going to be at the MVP level, just like Joe Namath was, and hopefully take them to another Super Bowl after the last Super Bowl that they won, which was Super Bowl III. But that's the expectations for the New York Jets. We have high expectations for the Buffalo Bills. So let's dive into the key matchups for the Buffalo Bills and New York Jets, which is what we are here to talk about. And the first key matchup is going to be the Bills offensive line versus the defensive line of the New York Jets. And last year, the matchup for the Buffalo Bills did not go as anticipated, with the Bills not doing a good job of protecting Josh Allen in these games. If you remember correctly, the Bills in the second game really struggled with their interior offensive line being able to contain guys like Quinnen Williams and being able to have a clean pocket for Josh Allen. That situation allowed the Buffalo Bills to not be able to move the ball down the field, especially in the run game. And it really hurt the Bills as well. And if you remember in the game against the Jets as well, Josh Allen got hurt on a play where Bryce Hoff injured his elbow as well. So those situations are ones that Buffalo is going to have to look out for. And I do think that the Bills have done a good job of upgrading the offensive line with guys like Connor McGovern, who's coming over from the Dallas Cowboys, as well as the addition of Osiris Torrance, who is a rookie who will be coming into the season with he hasn't allowed a sack in all of his college career. So he played in over 3,000 snaps. He's going to be a big addition to the offensive line, somebody that our offensive line coach, Aaron Kromer, is going to absolutely love this year. And I also think that it's going to help Spencer Brown, who had a little bit of a down year last year after starting the year off not being able to go to training camp with the back injury. Now you have a full offseason of Spencer Brown, and you can be in the lab with him, getting him ready for this season. And I think it's going to be a big year for Spencer Brown. If you remember in last night's game, which was against the Lions and the Chiefs, and the matchup that we saw with Aiden Hutchinson going up against Juwan Taylor, the matchup was pretty much won by Juwan Taylor. And the reason why he was winning that matchup was because Juwan Taylor was not on the line whatsoever during that game. If you look at the matchup between Hutchinson and Taylor, Taylor was pretty much in a situation where he was the slot receiver, which the slot receiver doesn't line up on the line of scrimmage. He lines up behind the line of scrimmage so that they don't get called for having too many men on the line. So pretty much the right tackle was not in the right position the whole entire game. Now, why am I bringing up this case for Juwan Taylor? And why would I bring it up, especially when we're talking about Spencer Brown? The reason I'm bringing this up is because you got to take a step back with Spencer Brown and not have so much high expectations on him. I do think that he's going to have a really good year for the Buffalo Bills. He's going to be a player that is going to make an impact this year, and he's healthy. He's going to be really good. He's going to also have help next to him when Buffalo didn't have a guy that was really that great next to him. You have Osiris Torrance, who can handle his own at the right guard position. Now you don't have to have Spencer Brown worrying about what's going on with the guy that's next to him. He can take care of his own on the right side, and he will also be able to use his power, which is something that he wasn't able to do a lot of last year, to be able to get to the get players away from Josh Allen and for Josh to be able to scramble to the right side of the line of scrimmage as well. Another key matchup for the Buffalo Bills with that offensive line is going to be able to create holes for guys like James Cook, as well as Damian Harris and Latavius Murray to be able to get big yards in the situations that they're going to have. And one of the things that I looked at for when I was looking at this game, and I went back to last year, and Sean Kula of the Red, White, and Bills actually encouraged me to do this a little bit more, and I'm glad that he did, was I looked back at the film from the last game, which was Week 9 against the Jets. And in that matchup, the Bills were facing the New York Jets and their defensive line. And in those situations, on the left tackle, who was Deion Dawkins, where their defensive end was lining up was in a wide 9 situation. Now, that situation, if you find the counter move to that situation when they're pass rushing in a wide 9, is to run between the tackle and the left guard and run in that hole. When you do that, it allows big gains to the running backs because they will be into the second tier of the defense. And if they can break the tackle of the linebacker, they only have the safeties and the cornerbacks to go, and they can take it to the house in those situations. So if I'm looking at these situations for the Buffalo Bills, you got to be able to break off big runs in those situations so that you don't have the pass rush of the New York Jets taking over this game. Let's go with the comments real quick on YouTube and Facebook. I want to welcome in John Robert, who is watching on Facebook. He said that he is sharing the video on Facebook. I do appreciate you sharing the video on Facebook, and I do appreciate you being a longtime follower of the channel. Let me know, John, how long you've been following the Go Bills podcast. I really would appreciate finding that out as well. Red, White, and Bills said the Jets are going 20-0, which is the expectation that they have this offseason. I don't see that happening this week. You'll find out with my prediction of who's going to win this game later on and why I think that they're going to win this game. John also said that he likes Trent Sherfield and what he has done so far. I completely agree. He's going to be that guy that's going to go over the middle of the field. He's not afraid to catch the ball over the middle, and he makes a big impact on this Buffalo Bills team. And I think that the amount of depth that the Bills have added in the offseason is going to really help them a lot. Red, White, and Bills also said that you got to win up front, which is I completely agree on both sides of the ball. And he also said that just like the Chiefs are going 20-0. Well, I completely agree, Sean. But let's get back to the matchup and talk about the second key to the game, which is going to be the matchup between Stefon Diggs and Sauce Gardner, as well as Stefon Diggs and DJ Reed. And watching the film from the All-22, I noticed a lot of what went wrong for the Buffalo Bills and why they weren't able to get big chunk yards against the New York Jets, and why Stefon Diggs wasn't a big impact in that second game, which was because the New York Jets double-teamed Stefon Diggs, which is what a lot of teams did towards the end of the year last year, especially in the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's one of the things that teams did, where it was double-team or triple-team Stefon Diggs. And then the Bills didn't really have an option on the other side. Gabe Davis was hurt. He wasn't the same player that he was at the beginning of the season, and the team pretty much fell apart because it was a one-dimensional team where you relied on Stefon Diggs to be able to take you down the field pretty much every single time. Now the Bills do have a healthy Gabe Davis, and I think the expectations are going to be big for him, especially because he's in a contract year. He's also healthy and doesn't have the ankle injury that he had. And if you look at what Gabe Davis was started off the season doing last year, he looked pretty darn good. He had that big play against the Pittsburgh Steelers for the 98-yard touchdown. And I think that he's going to also have a big game this week. If you also remember last year in the first game of the year between the Bills and the Rams, Gabe looked pretty darn good in that game as well, where he had a big play for a touchdown in that game as well. But I do think that Gabe is going to have a really good game in this week. I think he's going to be the complement for Stefon Diggs. But this matchup between Stefon Diggs and whoever is going to be the cornerback going against him, how Stefon Diggs is going to have to win the matchup between Sauce Gardner and him is by using double moves. If you look at the first play of the game, the Bills ran in the Week 9 matchup between the teams, the Bills ran a double move on Sauce Gardner, and he got beat like a drum in that situation. And in those situations, we thought that Stefon was going to eat Sauce alive. But Sauce came back, and he came back firing. He had the spicy sauce that he normally does, and he was pretty much running that Diablo sauce that you get from Taco Bell that is one of the spiciest sauces that you could possibly get. He did his thing, and he came back and had an interception later in the game, and he had 7 total tackles throughout the game. He looked really, really good, but the Bills were not able to capitalize on the opportunities that they had one-on-one with Sauce Gardner. And in these situations, I think that Buffalo has to use the double move against Sauce in order to get big plays with Stefon Diggs. They're also going to have to move Stefon around the line of scrimmage, motion him around, and that's another area where the New York Jets struggle with on defense. When there was a guy that was in motion for the Buffalo Bills, which there were situations where they moved somebody inside and then brought him outside, there was big gains when they threw the ball to the player. Mostly it was Isaiah McKenzie or Devin Singletary that was moving inside, then moving outside. And when they did that, the play was there, and they were able to get big chunks of yards down the field. That's going to be a way for the Buffalo Bills to really take the pressure off of the defense of the New York Jets and the pass rush that the New York Jets have as well. Now, the New York Jets are one of the teams that doesn't utilize a lot of blitz packages with the Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich system that they have right now. They're one of the least blitz teams in the NFL. And I do think that that's going to change a little bit in this situation, because I think that the Jets are going to move pieces around in order to be able to put pressure on Josh Allen, and they will do a good job of that as well. And I think that the ways that the Bills can counter that is by having quick passes to players like the DK brothers. I think that you're going to have to utilize Dalton Kincaid over the middle of the field in those situations, quick passes to him, as well as getting the ball out to your receivers on time so that they can get yards after the catch, which is something that Josh Allen struggles with throughout his career. The third matchup that I think that the Bills are going to have to focus on in this game is going to be Garrett Wilson versus Trey White in that matchup. And pretty much that's going to be the focal point that the Bills are going to have to really work on in this game, is being able to double team Garrett Wilson and not let him go off for a big game. If they can do that, then I don't think that there's another wide receiver on this team that I'm really afraid of in these situations. And I really look at guys like Allen Lazard, and Allen Lazard going up against Christian Benford. I'm not too worried about that matchup. I'm also not worried about Randall Cobb going up against any of the Bills' cornerbacks as well. I do think that the matchup between Tyler Conklin and Matt Milano, I think that matchup is going to be one that's going to be a good one as well. But I think that Milano will handle his own in that situation as well. Another key to the game is going to be the play of our new starting middle linebacker, Terrell Bernard, and how can he dictate and make the right adjustments for the Buffalo Bills to be able to get in the right personnel to be able to stop Aaron Rodgers. Now, that's going to be a tough task because Aaron Rodgers is a very smart player. He knows what he's doing out here on the field. He's been in the league for over 17 years. He knows how to disguise what he wants to do, and he makes you fall for what he wants to do. And the second-year linebacker in Terrell Bernard is going to have to really focus on what the Bills want to run in those situations and get them into the right personnel that can stop what Aaron Rodgers wants to do. That's going to be a very tough task, but if I feel like that Terrell Bernard is the right person for the job. If you look at the play overall of what the other linebackers did that were competing for the middle linebacker position last in the preseason, Tyrell Dodson did not look the best. AJ Klein also didn't look very good, and they lost the job because of how they played in the preseason. That job was pretty much lost because of how they played. And if you look at Terrell Bernard, I do think that he's going to have a very good game, especially in the games that he took over for Matt Milano when he was injured. He did have an impact throughout the games as well. And I do have a lot of confidence in Terrell Bernard. As far as the Buffalo Bills and their defense, other players that they're going to have to stop are the running backs of the New York Jets. These running backs are very big backs in guys like Breece Hall as well as Dalvin Cook. They're bigger, stronger backs that can break tackles as well. So the Bills are going to have to be very good about being able to tackle and not have a ton of missed tackles, which is something that the Buffalo Bills struggled with last year, was a lot of missed tackles from guys like Matt Milano and other players as well. The Bills are going to have to wrap up and be able to get guys on the ground and be able to tackle them when they are coming towards them, rather than they miss a tackle and then they get big chunks and gains because of that missed tackle. As far as score predictions for the game, I do have the Bills winning this game 35-31. I think it's going to be a very good game. If you're looking to take the over on this game, if you're a betting man, take the over. I think that it's going to be a high-scoring game. I also think that if you're looking for fantasy sleepers in this game, take guys like Deonte Harty or also Dalton Kincaid. You should start him as well. I think he's going to have a big impact in this game, and he'll make an impact throughout the whole entire season for you. And if you're looking for a number 2 tight end in your league, you should pick up Dalton Kincaid if he's still available in your league as well. As far as the Buffalo Bills this week and the 3 players to watch in this game, I do think that the 3 players to watch are going to be number 1, Stefon Diggs, and how he's going to be out there on the field, especially after the little mishap that happened in the offseason, seeing how he's going to be and how he will be a leader on the team. Another player to watch is going to be the return of Micah Hyde, who is finally healthy after the neck injury that he had. Can't wait to see him out there on the field, and I think he will make a big impact for the Buffalo Bills this week. And then my third player that I am looking forward to seeing out there on the field is going to be Terrell Bernard. I want to see how he does and how he takes command of the defense for the Buffalo Bills and what type of personnel he will get the Bills into every single time. I think those are going to be the 3 players to watch in this game. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, as well as Threads. And don't forget to also go on over to our website, gobillspodcast.com, where you can see all of our upcoming shows that we will be doing throughout the week. Our next show that we will be doing is going to be on the Nickel City Mafia channel tomorrow night. That'll be on the Nickel City Mafia's YouTube channel with Sean Kula of the Red, White, and Bills. We'll be doing a combination that is going to be called Red, White, and Ruthless. That show will be starting at 8:30 on the Nickel City Mafia's YouTube channel. So go on over to the Nickel City Mafia, check them out, give them a follow on their social media platforms. You can find them on Instagram as well as on YouTube. And we would love to get to know you as well. So if you're able to watch the show tomorrow, give us a comment on there as well. It helps not only my channel get more view times, but it also helps Nickel City Mafia get more view time and also get some more exposure on searches when you're searching the Buffalo Bills as well. Also, don't forget to go on over to the Red, White, and Bills. Follow them. Also follow the check out the AFC East Summit on Tuesday nights on the Nickel City Mafia's YouTube channel as well. That show is something that's similar to the AFC East Roundtable, where we talk all about the Buffalo Bills. We kind of talk a little bit of crap about each team and the matchups that we have. You got to watch the show that happened on Tuesday, where there was a battle between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills representatives. It was a very good show that they did as well, with guys like Anthony that's a New York Jets fan, and the Buffalo Bills representative as well. Also, don't forget to tune in to our next show on the Go Bills podcast. That show will be Monday at 7:30 p.m. for our kickoff show of the Buffalo Bills and New York Jets game, right before kickoff of that game. And also, last thing I got to say is go Bills. I'm glad that it's another season of Buffalo Bills football. This has been 5 years that we've been running the channel. The second year that we've been on YouTube. We are starting to grow this channel, and it has been incredible to do this for you guys and to be able to run this channel for you guys. So got to give you everybody that's out there that's a fan of the channel a big shout out. We really do appreciate you and everything that you give to us. You guys are the reason why our channel is so big and how we've made an impact on the Buffalo Bills community for this year, along with other years in the past. So without further ado, let me say go Bills one last time, and we will see you on Monday on the Go Bills podcast for another edition of the Go Bills podcast. Until then, go Bills.